Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit or arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members and the magicians here, you have a video that posted last night, so check that out. And if you're not in the magician's tier but you're part of the memberships, you will have a video that is posted in the next few days, so keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link is down in the description box below. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So when I first stepped into the space to do this reading, I was seeing a lot of black feathers, and it was just like these layers and layers of black feathers. Some of them are flapping, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. And finally, I had to just be like, oh, it's pretty simple. This is about crow. This is about crow spirit. And as soon as I said that, there was this opening up that occurred, and I saw an eye of a crow with that membrane lifting. So it's like opening its vision back up. Even though it can see through that membrane, it's like it's seeing more clearly. And this really told me that whoever I'm speaking to, you're beginning to see more clearly, or you're beginning to see a broader scope having to do with something with our vision or our astral sight is opening. So maybe you've been seeing more things, not just astrally. I do feel that for some of you it is taking place astrally. You may, this may even resonate for you. You might find if it has to do with the eyes within the astral vision. But there's something to do with seeing more, just seeing more in general. And I do want to preface this by saying that if I'm telling you something you don't know in this reading, then this definitely is not your message, right? This message is coming through for somebody as a confirmation. That's what most of my messages are. So when I'm tapping into this energy of somebody seeing more, I'm seeing these black ribbons. There's just all these black ribbons, and they're like taut, and they're stretching, and there's like little vibrations going across these ribbons, and they're off to the left, and I can't see what's on the other end, but I am getting a very distinct energy from that. And okay, they said that leads to the next part. And so this is connecting you. What's occurring for you now is connecting you to something very old. And it is an ability that has run into your lineage, going back generations and generations and generations. And as I'm saying that now, I'm seeing old woman. Okay, so that's who this is. That's who this is. Okay, I wasn't sure when I wrote everything down. So I'm seeing an old woman, but I'm only seeing the side of her face, and I'm seeing the crow on her shoulder. And I'm seeing like her feeding this crow. So this old woman feels very powerful, and this is someone's ancestor that is stepping forward, and I'm hearing her now say first of the line. Okay, I'm distinctly getting the impression that it's not blood. She's not saying first of the bloodline. She is in your bloodline, but she's saying first of the line of mediums, shamans, witches, wise ones, seers, something like that. But the energy that she's giving me is extremely powerful. Like, she was extremely powerful. And again, this is an ancestor, and it's an energy that's stepping forward as I was channeling this message that wants you to know that she's ready to work with you now. You don't have to, right? So we'll get into that. This is someone that says that she's ready to work with you now, or you're ready for her to work with you now, is more how that's being put. So this is a very small thing for someone, right? I don't think this is for everyone who is recognizing this as part of their story. For someone in your dreams or meditations, you've been seeing your family home, and you've been seeing a door inside of your family home, and you've been hearing 3 loud knocks. Now, this is not pertaining to somebody who is hearing 3 loud knocks outside the context of a family home. This is very specific to someone who's seeing it inside of a family home. If you are that person, this is her. So you don't have to open the door, and understand that if you do, an initiation will occur. That's going to be different for everybody, right? So for some people, that's going to be like a rapid cycle of healing that's going to take place just to bring us up to speed to where we need to be able to hold the energy that she's bringing forward. But for other people, this was the case for myself, it can be decades of trauma, because you have to have certain rigid beliefs and understandings completely torn down, and you have to be rebuilt to be able to contain this energy. And so be aware of what you're inviting if you do decide to work with her. For some of you, you might meet with her and you might be able to ask her, what is this going to bring with it, right? Because for some of you, it's not going to bring anything. For other people like myself, opening up to energies like this can really bring a lot, just because we have to become a certain person who we are not when they first present themselves. We're ready to begin that path, but we're not ready to contain the energy. I hope that makes sense. And so some of you may want to ask, right? Because definitely rest assured that if you open up to these energies of these very powerful ancient ancestors, your life is definitely not going to be the same. So some of you have already gone through that phase, right? Maybe you didn't even realize you were opening up to an ancient ancestor, but they chose you, for example, because that does happen. Some of you have already gone through that phase, and you've had to undergo massive healing because of it. And it does require that healing aspect for us to be able to have that power passed down in its full capacity. And this is why, because it requires someone strong and brave enough. And so whoever this message is for, you're the first in many, 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 many generations. And again, you can always choose not to work with her. That's not something that's being forced on you, not in this context anyway. For some of you, you've recently had a family member pass within the last few years or is currently transitioning, and your particular ancestor crosses through death portals and life portals. So things like conception, birth, dreams, death, those are all like small aperture portals where energy enters in and leaves through our 3D, right? So the grief that brought you really low and the healing from that grief is awakening her power inside of you, essentially. And for some of you, it's the willingness to face that event head on that is opening that power inside of you, because it's a display of bravery, right? She is existing in those very brave, strong spaces within you. I'm hearing very distinctly something that my guides came through and told me once, shortly after I started working with something like this from my own ancestry. And that is that all of our ancestors are in, all that our ancestors were is inside of our bones. I don't know why that's pertinent right now, why they're bringing that forward, but that's for somebody. Okay, so this ancestor says that you're ready to work with her, and if you wish to learn, she will teach you, and she's saying it very specifically as the old ways. The signs that were given to me when I was sitting down to channel this for the person who this message is meant for specifically is going to be 111, 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4. A bell, and it looks like one of those like little bells that you move, you know what I mean, with a little handle on the bell. A circle, the Eye of Horus and the Vesica Pisces, a well, a black dog, and very specifically the crow. This message is coming from, for me personally, as I'm channeling it, I understand that that's why I saw the black feathers, because this is coming through like a crow spirit collective. There's also, she's also going to appear this way, is what I just got. And then also the red candle is going to be one of the symbols for whoever this message is for. In dreams, you may see her as a wolf. I almost said red wolf, and I think that red wolves are like darn near extinct. I think that that's like a scientifically modulated species. Like they're, if I remember correctly, it's the red wolf that there's only like 13 in the wild, but it's because they were put there by conservationists down in like North Carolina or something like that. But yeah, a red wolf for someone. Okay. And then for many of you, what she's going to do for many of you is she's teaching you to strengthen your connection to other planes. And that's why you may be seeing some things more, is because that's the influence of her energy kind of rising up inside of you. And it feels very much like, especially the dead, right? So she's definitely going to connect you to some deeper level or higher level of mediumistic abilities if you work with her, if you do choose to connect to her. So again, some of you have recently lost someone, and this is specifically why she's coming. It is that sort of death energy that is bringing her, because this seems to be the realm in which she worked. She was someone who helped people transition. She was someone that helped mediate for the dead. She has a very like a very dark energy, and by I don't know how to explain that. I always say dark energy and people don't understand what I mean. So I don't know how else to explain that. Okay, so as I got all of that, there was this last sequence of images that they got that kind of like tied it back full circle. They showed me a golden quince, which is reminding me of the masters when they painted the temptation of Eve, and she was given this fruit of knowledge, right? When you turn a quince and you cut it horizontally, what you have inside of it, the membrane that surrounds the seeds, it forms a pentagram. So there is something, she had said something about teaching the old ways. There is something here about very old feminine mysteries. And it doesn't have to be feminine mysteries, it's just how it's striking me right now. And you don't have to be female, you can absolutely be a male. But there's something about that, something about those lower subconscious spaces, the realm of the dead, the realm of dreams, the realm of conception and life being brought. She's very immersed in that type of energy. That's why I'm getting the dark energy, because it's a very powerful dark energy. I'm not even gonna say it. It's the whole like dark is evil thing. Like, I'm over it. I'm so over it. I know a lot of you are too. But that's where this feminine aspect resides, right? And as I'm saying that, and I'm seeing this quince, and I'm seeing this sort of pentagram shape around the quince, and I'm seeing it being passed to Eve, they're showing me again. They're showing me the eye of the crow, and that membrane is opening. Someone here is about to receive knowledge, and so you're about to receive almost this forbidden knowledge. And again, like I said, that this is going to make it so that your life isn't the same. But it's some sort of knowledge that you're about to receive. Should you accept it? You don't have to accept it. Should you accept this knowledge, it's really going to show you and lead you down a path of working the spaces your ancestor worked, right? So really helping people transition, especially if you have someone that's currently in the process of transitioning, really helping someone transition, really helping people not be afraid of dying, really helping you to connect to the dead, connect to your ancestors, just working that current. And so I love this energy. You know, I'm gonna love this energy, and I think this is a really exciting path that's opening up for someone. I'm hearing that I have to pull some confirmations for someone. This is confirmation for someone out there. Here, hold on. I'm hearing 3 cards. Okay, those are the 3 cards, and then the bottom card. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So I want to draw attention to something that's coming through in these cards. I don't feel that I'm reading these cards the traditional way. There's an image that's standing out to me in these cards right now, and this is kind of the confirmation in and of itself. I will definitely hold the cards in case the meaning on the cards or the words on the cards mean something to somebody out there. But if you notice, each one of these cards is split down the middle, right? This is really where we're talking about a bridge between this reality and another reality, and being that central line, being the one that stands with one foot on both sides and mediating in a certain way or certain capacity for people and for the spirits, right? This is what someone is opening up to, and this is what she's bringing for whoever it is that she's coming forward to work for. This is where you become a tender of the gateway. So here we have fault line, and I do feel that that is significant for somebody. Again, this resulted from a lot of pain and a lot of grief that had to be healed, because it does take a certain level of warrior's path in order to step into her role and to fill her shoes. There is the sword, which is about cutting through and clearing things. You've probably spent a great deal of time clearing out negative energies from your life, toxic relationships, things like that, as well as getting to the truth inside yourself, really connecting to yourself in some way in order for her to come through, because this is not an energy that comes through or tries to work with someone who doesn't know themselves, because that can actually be very dangerous. So for the person. And so then we have the father. And so this is somebody who quite possibly you've balanced your masculine energies. This may be an ancestor from your father's line. This may be even learning how to father yourself. Someone here has really stepped into their power in that way. And then the bridge, this is what you are doing. They're asking you to be the bridge. So, and I'm just going to hold that up because I think that's very self-explanatory. Okay. Okay, I'm being given one more symbol. And again, you might see this symbol and you might think, wow, that means this message is for me. The message is only for you if you're aware of an energy that's trying to connect to you and that is bringing this influence into your life. For somebody, the other symbol is a golden key that has 3 circles on it. Okay, the number 3 is very significant in this energy. 3 worlds, just like we see in shamanism, the 3 knocks on that door, which usually the 3 sounds break open the barriers of 3 realities. I'm not going to go into that in this video. I can't go into things unless they bring it forward in a channeled message to explicitly explain, but what they want me to explain right now is just the significance of the number 3. 3 in many mystical societies, mystical cultures, they believe that the number 3 is 3 pillars of reality, or the world, or the universe. 3 is very significant. You have your left, you have your middle, you have your right. The 3 paths of Hecate, the 3 roads, the crossroads. There is a lot behind the symbolism of number 3. I invite anybody who is seeing 3 reoccurring to do a deep dive into the various places within the cultures where 3 repeats. If you really sit and you meditate on it, you can trace those meanings all down to a single root. So definitely do that. That's the mystery of the number 3. And that mystery of the number 3 is very sacred to whoever this ancestor was. But I'm super excited about this energy because she's super powerful. And I don't know why I'm talking so quiet about her. It's almost like a hush, you know? So this is an energy that she works in secret spaces. She's not going to want you to tell everybody that you're working with her. She's not going to want everyone knowing what you're working on, right? And so just be mindful of that one of the key components of this kind of power, this kind of gift, this kind of ability is the ability to keep silent. So whoever this is for, I'm super excited for you if you choose to embark on this journey. And leave me a comment. Feel free to like this video, and until next time.